On This Week Live, an asylum seeker detonates a bomb in Liverpool. More asylum seekers are coming across the channel as we speak, now 1,000 a day. But the most tragic news of all, that should disturb everybody, MP Caroline Noakes has had her bum smacked. Yes, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, and a hello to all you people on YouTube. Just to let you know, I'm going to be doing a few little snippets while the last dregs of this tour is going on. Little 2 or 3 minute little bits on YouTube. Press the subscribe channel, give it a like. You can leave a comment. We seriously don't edit the bad ones out. I just don't seem to get them, funnily enough. Okay, so let's talk about what we talk about before we go off to this week on Ustream, www.ustream.com, where you can see me rant and moan for 20 minutes without any threat of being cancelled. Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely? Talking of cancelled, I don't think we'll be seeing cricket anymore. Everyone's must have said something. I believe that the Air Force, Royal Air Force, has been cancelled as well, or will be, because the Victoria Cross wielding Guy Gibson from 617 Squadron, the Dam Busters, had a dog called Asterisk. Okay then, here we go. Let's get to the main news. Caroline Noakes, the MP. She's my MP. Not only is she my MP, she's my friend, or she was my friend until I started getting a little bit gobby about things, and she become the Minister for Woke. I think what she does is she's the chair. But I hate that. She's a chair. She's not a chair. She don't look like a chair. She's lovely. You wouldn't smack a chair on the... Oh, don't go there. Right. So she is the chairwoman person of the women's and other things rights, wokeness. She's the MP for Woke, basically. And she and a few others were filmed by Sky doing some bits and pieces in a committee room. And she confessed in 2003... at the Conservative Party conference in October, she had her bum smacked by the candidate for somewhere in Devon. And of course, that turns out to be Boris Johnson's dad. Now, first of all, Caroline, come on. You know that this was going to get a page, and you knew that it was going to add to the more Tory sleaze. And of course, he's Boris Johnson's dad, so it was... did you have to do it, Caroline? We've all been down these roads, and I adore you. I think you're a bloody good MP, and I think that you can wade through mud. You can wade through problems like no one I've ever seen. This is a bit beneath you, yes. But now, the good thing is now we have a set of rules. Do not touch a woman's bum. Don't look at a woman, don't touch the hand, certainly do not smack a woman's bum. Would I like my bum smacked by a woman? Yes, constantly. Whack me on the bottom with a wet haddock. That'll do me. So anyway, Caroline, do you know what is the strange thing is? How can you remember? Not only was it 2003, a million years ago, it was a Conservative Party conference where everyone is as pissed out of their head all the time. Okay, why do you think they voted for Boris? That's where he got his grounding. Now then, talking of the woke Ministry of Diversity, did anyone see the cenotaph on Sunday? I thought it was very, very moving. I'm waiting for the next comment to say the veterans didn't seem diverse enough. Well, veterans are veterans. They're like wombles. They're not particularly white or anything. They are veterans. And yes, there were people of colour that I saw there. What would we do in our armed forces without people of colour? Although the armed forces don't look at themselves as colour. The armed forces are colourblind. And to quote the great General Mike Rose, who without his intervention and Goose, there'd still be trouble in the Balkans, I'm sure. He stood up one day next to me and said, there's no room for he actually said it properly, there's no room for political correctness on the battlefield. That doesn't mean to say that everyone should be treated equally. What are we going to do with our 2,000 Fijians that are here? I can't imagine anyone being racist or nasty to them. That would probably be the last breath you ever took. But people from St. Vincent in the Royal Navy, Asians serving, and not forget how wonderful Gurkhas, our mercenary army. We recruit from all over the world. And Wales. Take a look at this chap. The wonderful Denzel Connick, 3-para veterans and patriot. I think he's chairman, aren't you? He works for SAFA. He runs a wonderful trike. He can't have a motorbike because the one leg's it's still on Mount Longdon. He can't change gear. So unless you see a biker going along on 2 wheels at 5 miles an hour, that is Denzel. And this wonderful, wonderful picture has been painted by our old friend, John Careless. John is a member of 1-para who fought with distinction all over the world, sadly lost his beloved wife to COVID. She was a nurse and she didn't make the end of selection, unfortunately. But John has taken to doing these fantastic paintings. He sent me a print which is off to the printing, you know, the framers, so we can go on the wall in the studios alongside Denzel. And just before we go, folks, and before we nip over to Ustream, we're gonna leave the Ustream, the YouTube bit. What's in this whiskey this morning? Someone must have put some tea in it. We're gonna have a little look, a tad little 30-second burst of the great Denzel Connick and John Careless. And if you want to see some of John's work, go onto his website, John Careless. He couldn't care less. Okay, talking to the military, just before we go, thank you for helping the Veterans Trust, the Ustream Veterans Trust. You can go on it to PayPal, or you can donate by texting donate to 66777. Don't get that wrong, or Jake will be round to see you. Don't you worry about that. Now, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The first of the payouts are going. £3,000 went to Care After Combat last week. Today, I'll be writing out a cheque, and this is something to do with Owen Patterson. And before everyone starts moaning and going on about jobs and things and distractions from actually running the country, Owen Patterson sadly lost his wife, and he lost her to suicide. And not to dwell too much on that, to keep his sadness in the locker and look at it when he wants to. He's got on and he's formed the Rose Patterson Trust. Now, what that is for, it's to raise awareness in suicide and the symptoms that lead up to it. I had one of the guys when I was boss of Care After Combat. He took his life on the phone to me while we were watching Match of the Day. And I think it was speaking to me that actually drove him over the edge. We tried and tried and tried and tried. And we managed to get an ambulance to him that night. He checked himself out of hospital and then give himself the good news the following day. Did we see the signs? Maybe. But this charity will help people see the signs. It's not a military charity, but it's another charity to help prevent some of the military guys taking their life, along with the brilliant Samaritans. The names of both the charities, for any veterans watching now, are on here now. The Rose Patterson Trust and the Samaritans. Don't forget, if you have any spare change in your pocket and you want to support British veterans of all colours and all races, help us support them, us being Ustream Veterans Fund. Right, let's go over to Ustream proper.
But 1-para.
Yeah.
What would you say 1-para were most famous for?
Well, they used to say that the ugly blokes went to 3-para.
Yes.
The gungy blokes went, or was it the other way around? The gungies went to 3. The uglies went to 2, and the handsome blokes went to 1. But my experience was there weren't too many good-looking 1-para blokes.
Well, I do know quite a lot of them, and no, they're not no more good-looking than I am or you or anybody else for that matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.